I'm trying to tell a story. I guess that looking back, I feel like I should have been more excited or something, or more like anticipating it. But
He's a hard worker, and he's got his head in the game for sure. He's definitely got a good
It brings a
head on
lot
his
of
shoulders.
joy when you're able to watch them succeed. At his lowest point,
And
he
if
was
you
in his
think
studio.
anybody could be ambassador host, you're dead crazy.
Can you describe your experience growing up with you and your single mom?
Yeah, it was pretty lonely. She every chance she was pretty much always just trying to get away from me and not spend any time with me. She would go on about how she loves being at work because she doesn't have to be at home, or she would tell me she hates my name because of how much she called it or something, and she would basically just send me away to the basement to play games all the time instead of spend time with me. So I think it made me pretty cold in a lot of ways. It's taken some love from people that weren't in my family that kind of became my family to like kind of get me to come out of my shell a little more emotionally. I think almost like re-experience childhood, but with people that actually do the things that they should do for their kid.
A lot of different types of adversity, whether it comes from personal struggles or just outside forces that are just making it difficult. But he has an ability to bounce back and like find himself again, even when he gets scattered. He finds a way to focus his energy again and then come back and put it through the music. You know what I mean?
Person who's always had a ton of motivation behind him. You know, he does have down times, but once he's back up on his feet, he's always motivated to do what he loves, and that's going to be music no matter what. And you know what? There was nothing that stopped him from doing music. Even when he was at his lowest point, he was in his studio.
Okay, think of frenzy level energy and do something like that.
This is Jay Vinny, and if you think anybody could be ambassador host, you're dead crazy, bro.
That's facts. All right, that's good. I'll take that. Yeah, some of we'll get that space back and we'll just put it somewhere else.
I've been shredding the Beretta, moving high speed, slow it down. I need to take a breath because it's mine now. I see. Oh. And normally I'm moving solo, but this time I accept. And normally I'm moving solo, but this time oh no. And normally I'm moving solo, but this time I accepted help. And normally I'm moving solo, but this time I accepted help. After all, why face it alone when love is a shared wealth? I went to this like behavioral school for kids with anger issues, and it was like you so much as look at someone the wrong way, or if you like swear when they tell you not to, they tackle and they restrain you for like grown people for like hours on like a cement floor, and they throw you into like a small 4x4 brick wall room with no handle on the door, and they lock you in for like an hour.
What were some of the challenges and joys of being able to offer group homes?
The biggest challenge is always pretty well twofold: the finance, money, the funding, and the staff. It's tough to get people who are qualified out of school to act like a parent when they're not a parent. Some staff get it, some staff don't. It's tough to convince people to care about people that aren't sort of in their family job. So there's many different skills required, which makes it very, very tough.
Kids are hurting. That's hard. It's hard to watch, and it's hard not to be able to fix that, and to know that the fix may take 5-10 years. It can be hard, but on the flip side of that, it brings a lot of joy when you're able to watch them succeed and move on to have happy, healthy lives. So.
Dad came and dropped him off at the crib, and his dad gave me a little spiel talking about, this is my son, you know, me and him are not that close, but he says he wants to do music, and I intend to support him, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. And then he was kind of telling me, like, take care of him, like, you know what I mean, like, show him some support, like, if this is real, like, I want to go somewhere where he's not going to waste his time. And then then honestly we just got to recording.
I guess looking back, I feel like I should have been more excited or something, or more like anticipating it, but I don't know, I feel like my mom had me tricked so well that up until I was 13 years old, for some reason I didn't even think to myself, oh, I have a father out there. Like I didn't even know that I had it. That's how confused I was. And I guess I expected like some kind of tall guy who's like a businessman or something. I don't know, like in like a dress shirt and dress pants or something.
Do it for a few hours, like we gotta take a lot of breaks. I'll be over there making tea and shit, or pep talks.
What's your strategy with pep talks and kind of coaching?
I try not to sugarcoat too much. I'll try to be truthful as possible, but I will always lead with, you're doing this well, you're doing this well, just gotta focus on this, you know what I mean? I try to simplify it for them. You're in the pocket, or you're not in the pocket, you know? If you're not in the pocket, I'll be like, you're rushing it, you sound early on everything, you know, so just relax. Like my main strategy is like, let's get the bulk of the song done. Like we might not have to get everything perfect, but let's set it up so that the next time we can just come and knock it down, you know? It's never the end of the world, we can always touch the song up, but just to keep the motivation going, let's try to make every session productive, because that's important too.
Is the rear view ever felt the same? Oh, I can't move on. I stand. Cracked. I don't know what home is. Can't you see that I've lived in 12 different places? Can't you see that I can't seem to forget a face in? I thought I finally found love, or maybe I did, but I wasn't ready. I made some mistakes, and all because of me. Summarize this one. I wrote this song when I was 17 and I was living in a group home. And this song is called A Home. It's my favorite song that I've written personally. And I'm yeah. Dee-Tee! I love Dee-Tee! I love Dee-Tee! What?
Do you have anything to say about the song?
Yeah, it's fire. I like it. It's kind of just like a return moment type thing. Okay, today is Z Must Come, aka Street Shakespeare. He's doing a verse on my EP. Yo, what's up, bro?
You got it? Like the drop or whatever.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Big Moon got it. If you got a problem, guess I'll be dropping your friend. I'll make a verse so good that I'll make a petty nigga and I want to do it again. Reading. All right. Now it's the big Z to do it, and if you got a problem, guess I'll be dropping your friend. I'll make a verse so good that I'll make a petty nigga want to do it, and then I'll do it again and do it again and do it again. I said not want to do it, but I want to drop it. Yeah, okay. I want to see something. Shawty was talking about search your heart. You cannot ask someone to stop it and then do it again and do it again and do it again. You cannot buy love. You gotta turn the shit and then make it a 10. I'm thinking about one song.
Yo, how long is this hook, man?
No, that's not the hook. Like,
But you mentioned, like, you know, when artists aren't wanting to kind of take, like, your advice or, like, creativity to add, right? So, like, how do you balance that? Where
You
it's
gotta be like,
You just don't have as good chemistry with them.
No, you gotta be a chameleon. You gotta be a chameleon. I have, maybe you don't be having, I gotta train them down a little bit more, you know what I mean? But like, nah, like you really gotta figure out your way to be simpatico with these guys, super compatible, you know? So maybe they don't take as much creative advice. It's okay, you know? You figure out the other way to get cool with them, you know what I mean? Or like there's a lot of times artists will tell me, yo, fix this. I feel like it needs to sound more like this, and there's going to be some wording that's not technical at all. Might not make sense to the majority of people, but my brain, I know how to translate it. I'm going to be like, oh, he probably means this. And if he doesn't mean this, he means probably this, you know, like put the beat underwater. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
High pass it. You know,
like I work with an artist who's like a filmmaker, but he also like writes songs.
Yeah.
And he'll say something completely non-technical, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's
just keep feeding each other new techniques. Yo, try this out. You know, like to maneuver through the world, or let's say you have an auntie that's like super connected in the music industry, or let's say you have friends that are connected in the industry, like really connected and can get you things done. Let's say you know, especially being Canadian, it's a lot easier to being independent because you can get grant writers, you can get grants from Canada, stuff like that. They don't have that in the States, you know what I mean? So, on one hand, the benefit, it's probably better to answer it like, what's the benefit of being signed versus what's the benefit of being independent? You know, so the benefit of being signed. Let's start with the easy part. You know, you have a label, probably telling you what to do. You know how to make the music. They pick the guy to mix it. It's probably going to turn out pretty good. If you have really good taste, it'll turn out great. You have them putting a budget behind you. This is the best case scenario. You know, like let's say you're an artist that they decided, oh, he's cringe. Now they're not putting no money behind you. Let's say best case scenario. You know, like everything's fluid. You know what I mean? Now they got money behind you. They're shooting a video for you. They promote it for you. All you have to do is just be really good. You know, like so that's the benefit of being in the music in a major label deal. They're running the machine. Indie, you're running the machine, but ultimately you'll make more money. Major label, you'll make less money. Indie, you'll make more money. If it's about the money, and it's like, let's say you had the same connects, or same level of connects, same level of access to finances, then obviously being independent is better. But if you don't have that, you know, like you didn't land. Is Fortnite still? We still play Fortnite?
Hell
still
yeah.
play Fortnite? Like, you know, like you didn't. If you landed in somewhere that wasn't as like easy to, you know.
If you hot drop.
Fortunate, yeah. If you didn't land somewhere that's as fortunate, then you know it's gonna be tougher. You might want to go the major label route because they'll put the money behind you. But they're only gonna sign you nowadays if you have clout. So really, you're gonna be independent for a while, anyways. You're going to be independent for a while. You're going to work your ass off to try to get to a certain level. Then they'll want to sign you. They'll be like, okay, here's a milli, but we're taking, you owe all this milli through your royalties, and this is for your recording. So, like, you know, I know somebody that got their advance and then moved to LA and then started paying rent in LA and buying Givenchy and Cartier. And, bro, he's broke. He's broke right now. And he owes all that bread to the label, and he's like stuck with them. You know what I mean? Like, and then like I said, if you're cringe, the label's gonna be like, nah, bro, no more bread. Just figure it out. You know, get into crypto or something.
I'd like to add to that actually. Yeah, I've been in relation to the label thing about how they don't want to. They're not gonna want to sign you unless you have clout and stuff. However, you know, if you don't have the clout and you happen to find yourself in a position where a major label is wanting to sign you and stuff, it's likely not a good idea anyways, unless you're okay with basically losing the ownership of all of your stuff, all the stuff you make with them in exchange for some fame and some clout.
Yeah, but not intellectual property. You still
no, for sure.
Most of the time,
yeah,
own the intellectual
but
property.
They'll own the masters, is what I mean.
Yeah, they'll own that recording of the song. I don't know. Did Colin teach y'all about
re-recording
the song?
Yeah.
And You saw Taylor Swift. I'm sure you brought up Taylor Swift.
Yeah. We did, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, back then he was bringing up AC/DC. I'm sure he brought up AC/DC too, didn't he? Or is he just like, nah, it's too old now.
Yeah.
Let's switch it. Let's make it more relevant.
Yeah.
But yeah, Taylor Swift finesse. But because of that, major labels are definitely changing how they're writing contracts now because of that. But before that was a normal thing.
It's those like 360 deals where they take a bit of like
everything, yeah.
Industry and,
I mean, that's what it is. Let me tell you the truth. This is why it happened, you know. And I'm sorry that you guys were born now. You know, it is what it is. But back in the day, we had friggin'. Well, I mean, I guess before even I was born, they had like record stores and they had like friggin' cassette store. Can you imagine a cassette store? A cassette store. Maybe they put records and cassettes in the same store. Who knows, you know? But they had CD stores, HMV. You can go to Walmart, buy CDs, like 50 Cent dropped a new album. You go to Walmart, you go to Best Buy, you go to, you know, HMV. There's like a whole bunch of stores like that where you buy CDs for like $15. You know, imagine your song. You had 15 songs on a CD, and one of those songs is $1 full every time you sold it. And you sold 1 million copies. The label's eating 90% of that. You know what I mean? Like, you're still making a 10% of that. Like, there was a lot. He's professional. He handles himself professionally. Like, you know, like he comes in on time. He's very transparent whether he's going to be on time or not. He's very productive when he works. You know what I mean? He's a hard worker and he's got his head in the game for sure. He's definitely got a good head on his shoulders. Despite everything that he's been through, he's still a very like centered and focused individual for sure. He definitely has.
Super thrilled for Dylan, obviously. From the very first day we met Dylan, he was really open about his love of music, and it's been really great to watch. I think Dylan has used his music to heal in a lot of ways, and I think that that's been super important for him. And I hope other kids can see that music or art or anything that they can put their passion in, they at the same time sort of helps them maybe work through some of their bigger losses in life.
It's Dylan's living proof that whether you live in care or live in a foster home, if you stick to it and stick to your dreams, you can, you know, you get some. I mean, I still haven't got any free tickets and I still pay top dollar for my tickets, but that's not an issue. When we first came in, you know, we had to do like a typical parent and say like, yes, you have your dreams, your music, but you need a backup plan, like i.e. education, jobs, and those type of skills. So we tried to function as a family would or as a parent and help them with that. And, you know, because you can get swallowed up by your dreams sometimes too. And the reality of life is you have to move forward. And he didn't get swallowed up, and he's moving forward now. And
finished high school and
he's
stuck to it.
He's sticking to it. I'll see him one day in the LA Coliseum playing, maybe.